Morning students, welcome to today's class. In last class, we discussed about the centripetal force and the movement of the moon around the earth is due to the centripetal force. What happens, children, if there is no centripetal force acting between the moon and the earth or the planets and the sun? When there is no centripetal force, the moon moves in a straight line, that is in a tangential direction. So what is a tangent? A tangent to a circle is nothing but it is one and only point where it meets the circle. The one and only point where a straight line meets a circle is called as a tangent. So if there is no centripetal force acting between the earth and the moon or the planets and the sun, then they all move in a straight line. Children, we know that an apple falls from a tree towards the earth. So why it is falling towards the earth? Because there is some force, a gravitational force which is attracting the apple towards the earth. Have you ever imagined that why the earth is not attracted towards the apple? According to Newton's second law, according to Newton's third law, we know that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So when an apple is attracted by the earth, then why not the earth getting attracted by the apple? Definitely it also gets attracted. Now, according to Newton's second law, for a given force, the acceleration is inversely proportional to mass. For a given force, the acceleration is inversely proportional to mass. So here, the mass of the apple is negligible when compared to mass of the earth. That is why we cannot see the earth moving towards the apple. The same it holds good for all. Like the sun is not moving towards the planets. Okay, children? So this says that there is some force of attraction between all the objects in the universe. So this was given by Sir Isaac Newton. So that is called as universal law of gravitation. So according to universal law of gravitation, every object in the universe attract every other object with a force which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. So here we are considering two objects are A and B and their masses are capital M and small m. So these two objects are separated by a distance d, and the force of attraction between these two objects let us consider as F. So according to universal law of gravitation, the force is directly proportional to the product of their masses. So here F is directly proportional to m into m. So this is equation 1. According to the same law, the force is inversely proportional to square of the distance. So F is inversely proportional to square of the distance. Let us take this as equation 2. Now combining 1 and 2, let us combine both the equations. When you combine both the equations, we get as F is proportional to m into m by d square. So to remove this proportionality constant, we are writing as F is equal to capital G m into m by d square, where G is universal gravitation constant. So G is universal gravitation constant. So when you multiply this, you get the value of G as F d square. When you just bring the d here, you get it as F d square by m into m. So the SI unit of universal gravitation constant is Newton, because we know that for force it is Newton. Then distance meter square and mass is kg. So Newton meter square kg power minus 2. So this is the unit of gravitation, universal gravitation constant. And the value is 6.673 into 10 power minus 11 Newton meter square kg power minus 2. So this value was given by Henry Cavendish. So this law is called as universal gravitation law. That is, every object in a universe attracts every other object with a force which is directly proportional to product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. So this says that there is a force which is acting between all the objects, in between the objects in the universe, and that force is nothing but gravitational force. Hope you understood, children. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.